board as well. All right. So my upline and personally sponsored mentor, I guess, I'm her personally sponsored coach, is Kristi Kronser. She's going to be talking to us tonight about recruiting like a boss. And Kristi she has quite the accolades. If you saw her lanyard at Summit, that was like down to her. Awesome. Kristi is a 15-star diamond coach in her first business center, 5-star in her second, 3-star in her third, 2-star in her fourth, and she'll be opening up her 5th business center on July 1st. Best Club 10 legend, 87 months if you count this month in Success Club. And she's just that mentor that is so fun to work with, always sharing what's working for her, and always just breathing life into it. So I'm so excited for her to breathe life into you guys and get you fired up about recruiting, because let's face it, that is the lifeblood of this business. And she is going to show you.
Hey, I have the barbecue on.
I'll pass it on over to you, Kristi, and then I'll keep muting people as they pop in.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much, Whit. Thank you guys for having me. So I'm going to dive in because I want to make the most of your guys' time. Thank you so much for investing in yourself and investing in your businesses and being here, because the more you learn and the more your goals, faster you're going to be able to help others and have a larger impact in this world. So I am super passionate about this. Can you hear me, Whit? Yeah? Okay, it's my connection. I'm just going to make sure. So my story, where I come from, and then I have 4 main tips for you that I'm going to go through. In one of those tips, it's going to be loaded because I am going to go through my entire coach recruiting process that I have been doing for 7 years, like 7 years of coaching, and I always sponsor at least a minimum of 10 to 15 new coaches for 7 years straight. Never failed me. So I am so excited to get this all to you guys tonight. It's going to be loaded. There's going to be a ton of information. You're probably not going to be able to take notes fast enough. Take them anyways. Just go back and review the recording to get all the little nuggets or pieces that you missed. So first off, Whitney said all those accolades. That's awesome. It's incredible. But honestly, it's the person that you become in the process. It's the confidence you build. It's the happiness that you create where you're at right now. If you are at Summit, you understand that with the happiness advantage guy. I can't remember his name, Sean. That it really was. When I was a brand new coach, I earned $70 my first month as a coach. And I was just as excited about that $70 as I was when I hit Millions Club. Like, there was no different happiness from that moment till then. So it really is about finding happiness and joy in the present situation while going for bigger goals. So when I found coaching, I was at a place where, and this kind of will lead me into my first tip, but I was at a place where I had overcome depression. In college, I went through a suicidal depression. I called my mom one time. I was always a happy person. I was that person that was an optimist. You looked at me, I saw happiness in everything. I saw the silver lining in everything. My parents divorced when I was a child, and I was like, yay, we get 2 Christmases. My grandparents and my dad actually beat my mom up in front of me. So it wasn't an easy divorce. It wasn't, it wasn't something that anybody would want a child, an 8-year-old, to experience. But I still saw like something good about this situation. And we lost everything as kids. So it was probably about the time I was 12 years old. One time I came home from a soccer tournament, and I asked my mom for $5 for a soccer tournament. And she said, Kristi, I don't have the money. And that night I could hear her through the walls of our apartment, our low-income apartment, crying herself to sleep. I was just as happy as a 12-year-old who didn't have $5 for a soccer tournament. But what pained me was that me asking for money hurt my mom. And so I never asked for money. I didn't want her to think that her love wasn't enough. So fast forward to college, I'm putting myself through college, I'm getting all this student loan debt, and I all of a sudden just started going through this major depression. I gained 30 pounds in a matter of 2 months. I weighed 100 pounds, very tiny, and put on 30% of my body weight in 2 months. I went into the doctor. They started doing blood work and everything. All my hormones, everything was imbalanced. My chemicals in my brain were not, functioning. But even worse so, I had started taking diet pills because I thought that was going to help me get rid of this 30 to 40 pounds, not realizing it's my mindset, right? But I was taking diet pills, and they were actually shutting down my organs. They looked at me and they said, "Are you an alcoholic?" And I'm like, "No, I don't even drink. Like, I really didn't. I was in college and I don't drink." And they were like, "Well, you have a kidney of an alcoholic." And I was like, oh my, I knew what I was doing. I just played dumb. Like, I didn't know what was happening, but I knew what I was doing to my body. And I went and saw a therapist and got on medication, found out that depression ran in my family on my dad's side. And I called my mom one day and said, "Mom, I really want it in my life. I won't do it because I don't want to put you through that. But I don't have a reason to be here. I can't cry. I can't laugh. Like, there's no meaning for anything." It wasn't even like depression, like you cry all the time. Like, I couldn't even shed a tear. There was no emotion for anything. Life just didn't even seem purposeful. And so it was a long road to me finding fitness. And I had a friend that invited me to a triathlon. I didn't know how to swim. I was dead last on the swim. An 80-year-old beat me on my first triathlon on Catalina Island. I didn't know how to ride a bike, and I crashed a lot. Whitney, the first time I met her, I actually crashed, like hardcore crashed, and couldn't run the next day. So this was like an ongoing thing. Like, fitness wasn't easy for me. People look at me now and think it was. It was really hard. I cried almost every workout. But when I crossed that finish line in my first sprint triathlon, I cried. And I had an emotion. And I, like, for the first moment, I knew, I didn't know how long, but I knew I could fight through it. And one of every struggle I ever experienced in my life, the struggle of watching my mom get beat up in front of me by multiple family members who I loved and trusted, the struggle of overcoming depression, the struggle of losing the weight, of finding fitness and nutrition, of being completely out of shape. A 10-minute workout was my entire workout when I started. I've overcome that, but it's allowed me, every single problem has allowed me to have compassion for someone else. And so I love struggle. Like, if you really want to know what success is, when you can look struggle straight in the face and say, "I love this. Bring it on. Like, let me figure out how to overcome this so that I can turn around and help more people," because that's why this struggle was placed in front of me. So fast forward, I get a job in the financial industry. You think I would love it, living in San Luis Obispo, living paycheck to paycheck, barely able to pay my student loan debt, have completed an Ironman triathlon. I would be the last person you think to invite because I'm already fit. From the outside looking in, it looks like I have a cush job and I wouldn't be looking for anything. But my coach invited me. So that is my first thing. Do not put this gift in your mouth. It pains me to think how many of you haven't invited somebody because you think they earn a great income, because you think they're already in shape. Why would they need this? Because I was that person. And this business has completely changed my life. And you all, I know you are, you're sitting there and you're not inviting someone that's right in front of you who is searching for this opportunity because you're afraid they might tell you no, because you're afraid they might reject you, because you're afraid of what they might think of you. But it's not about you. You're holding that in your mouth and you're not even giving the person the chance to make that decision for their life because you're making it for them. So that is my first tip for you guys. Do not hold this gift in your mouth. Do not hold someone else's future of happiness, health, freedom, fitness freedom, financial freedom, mindset, positive mindset, this community. Do not be else because you are being selfish. That is my number one tip. Number two. And this one, I'm going to get with how to do that, but create a list and go invite people. When I was terrified to invite in the beginning, I literally opened up and just started inviting 50 people at a time. And that might sound scary, but do you want to know how much faster I got over the fear of inviting? Really fast. Because my first month in coaching, I invited 100 people a week. And before you guys freak out, that's 15 people a day to coaching. And so I invited 100 people a week. My first month, I had 3 people say yes to me. Those are terrible odds. 3 out of 400 people. I didn't even have 1% of people say yes to me. But like I told you guys earlier, I'm an optimist. I'm excited. I'm like, 3 people said yes to me. I thought they would all say no to me. I really did. I thought that nobody would say yes. So I was so excited because I didn't care that 397 people said no or didn't respond to me. Most didn't respond, because I knew that those 397 people, I've planted a seed with them. Now they know what I do. Now that they know that I'm here to help them, they can watch my journey. They can choose to block me if they want and come back later, because that happens, or they can continue to watch my journey and see it unfold. They will know when they are ready, or they have a problem that they are just ready to rock out a solution for, that I am there, right? And they wouldn't know that if I didn't plant those seeds. My second month in coaching, I did the same thing. I invited another people, 100 people a week, about 15 people a day, and I had 16 people say yes to me. It's not that my odds got better, it's that people from the previous month were watching my journey on social media, because I post every day, once a day, at least, about coaching. Whether it's part of my journey as a coach, where I've been and what it's done for me. It's the community. I posted when I earned $70. I posted when Beachbody gave me my first customer lead. That I posted when I had a first coach join my team. I celebrated every single thing publicly on my social media. And most people didn't like my stuff. You would look at my page and be like 3 posts in a row, 0 likes, 0 likes, 0 likes. But I kept going. So create your list. That was number 2. Create your list and go invite people. I'll get with the how in a second, but create your list, go invite people, and always be adding to your list. Do not count on people to say yes to you. Do not count on the people that say yes to actually sign up. I've had people say yes to me and then take 3 years to sign up. Can you imagine if I just, look, here's my list, I'm just gonna wait for them. I'm gonna wait for them to decide to go after their goals and dreams? No. I'm not putting my goals and dreams on pause because other people want to put their goals and dreams on pause. My goals and dreams are way bigger than that to wait around for other people. So you always have to be adding to your list. You always have to be meeting new people and inviting new people while still following up with people that you have connected with before. Number 3, and I'm going through these ones fast because I want to have majority of the time to go through my process with you guys. Number 3, take the money off of people's foreheads. If you're inviting someone, you're so worried about them not responding to you, you're worried about them saying no, it's because you're thinking of them as dollar signs or success club points. Take that off the table. Do not have an expectation for if someone says yes or someone says no. And a perfect example is when you, this actually happened. So I met Whitney at a barbecue. At that same barbecue, I actually met another girl, and both of them became coaches on the team, and they're both coaches on the team today. So at this barbecue, I walked in and I was kind of thinking of this analogy as I was at this barbecue. I'm like, if I walk into a barbecue and there's 100 people there, and I say to those 100 people, oh my goodness, I just got finished my teaching credential. I'm going to be a teacher. I'm going to go and teach. I'm teaching at this school. I can't wait. I'm so excited about it. It's going to be amazing. Hey, does anyone want to be a teacher with me too? You should be a teacher. You'd make a great teacher. And out of 100 people, maybe 2 will be like, yeah, I want to be a teacher. I'm going to school to be a teacher. I think I should be a teacher too. The other 97 or 98 people at that barbecue might not want to be a teacher. They might want to be a lawyer. They might want to do something else. Teaching just might not be what they want to do. We don't get upset with those 98 people. We're like, cool, I'm still excited about teaching. It's not going to take away from my excitement for what I am doing that I am passionate about. And whoever's kid is that is so cute. He's like, yeah, he's so adorable. All into it. So it's the same thing. When I walked into that barbecue of 100 people, I didn't walk in and say, I'm so excited about coaching. They all need to say yes to me. They all need to respond to me. What I did was I walked around that barbecue. I connected with as many people as I could. I asked questions about them. I got to know them and their life. And then I went and added them on social media so that they could continue to see me and my life and see if there was a connection there. Then I could reach out to them. And so that's actually how I reached out to Whitney. Was we had met, we had trained together. One day we were sitting at a coffee shop and she was playing hooky from work. And I just wasn't at work because I didn't have a job anymore. And so coaching was my job. We were sitting in a coffee shop, hanging out, drinking coffee, like connecting, chatting. And she goes, gosh, I just really love that you can just sit at this coffee shop and like, this is your life. This is what you're doing. And I'm like here having to hide in the corner in case somebody walks in from my job because I'm playing hooky. And I'm thinking in my head, like, ding, 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 ding. Yeah, coaching. And she goes, maybe I should open a coffee shop. And I'm like, no, a coffee shop? Like, you're going to be stuck at the coffee shop. You're going to have to invest $250,000 at the coffee shop. No. But at the time, I was still new in the business and I didn't have the confidence to say, hey, Whit, have you ever considered coaching? So what I did was I went home and then invited her, which I'll get into my process next. But I went home, I messaged her. I said, hey, I remember our conversation about the coffee shop the other day. And I don't know if this is for you, but I know you love fitness. I know you're passionate about it. I know you're into business. And have you ever considered coaching? Because I think you'd make a great coach. And she's like, can you send me info? So she like did my process for me. And I sent her info and we got together, connected, chatted, and she became a coach like that. So I didn't go into that barbecue worried about people saying no to me, worried about people not responding to me. I went into that barbecue thinking, how can I connect with as many people to find those people that need what I have to offer? All right, now we're gonna get to number 4. Number 4 is the exciting part. Are you guys okay so far? Like, am I going too fast? Okay, cool. So number 4, I'm gonna give you my process, but first, the number 4 tip. So we have number 1, don't hold this gift in your mouth. Number 2, create your list and go invite. Number 3, take the money off people's foreheads. Don't have an expectation for the outcome. Number 4, create your own recruiting system/plan. And why I say create your own system/plan is I'm going to teach you mine. I'm going to give you mine. But maybe mine doesn't work for you. Maybe a variation of mine works for you. Maybe you want to do coach sneak peeks. Lots of people do coach sneak peeks and love them. They're not my thing. 7 years in, I don't do coach sneak peeks. I do a way different system than that. And it's worked for 7 years. And it really is, if you want to make it your own, you can also read Go Pro. It's Eric Worre's system. It's Eric Worre's system, but I've made it my own. So I'm going to go through how I do that. Now, as I go through this, like I said, this doesn't mean you can try this. It might work for you. I know it works for a lot of people. But I definitely challenge you to find what works for you, what that recruiting plan and system is for you. Because just because somebody else is doing something, if you're doing coach sneak peeks and you've been doing them and they don't work, like try something different. And not to say that something's going to work the first time you do it. Because like I said, I used the same system my first month as a coach and it really didn't work. This business has a 60 to 90 day delay. 30, 60, 90 days. So anything you try, you really do need to try and test it out for some time before you just say it doesn't work. Because a lot of times things will work, it's just little tweaks to them, figuring out how that looks for you, but don't be afraid to try something different. Okay, so my system, I'm ready to dive into it. So number 1, and I kind of share with you, I post about coaching at least once a day. That's something just for me that I do because I want people to know I'm here, I'm a coach, I'm building a coaching business, I'm helping other people. I want they can do it too. If I scroll through your social media and I can't tell that you're a coach or that I can do it too, I don't know that I can contact you to say, hey, I'm interested in coaching. How can I do this, right? You want to let people know so that maybe those people you haven't invited yet or you haven't thought to invite or they haven't come up on your list yet that are watching you can reach out and say, hey, I want to do what you do. Give me more information. So number 2, after I post about coaching, the people that comment or like on the post, and now with social media, you want to be growing your network, which is a whole nother topic, on Instagram, Facebook, whatever avenue you're using. I use mostly Facebook. But you want to be growing your network so new people are seeing your coaching posts. Because the people that 5 years ago saw my stuff. Yeah, some of them are still seeing my stuff and still joining me. Some of them don't follow me anymore, right? Maybe they're not even on Facebook anymore, so you always want to be growing that. But those people that are liking and commenting, I send them a message. And I'll say, thanks so much for supporting me in my fitness journey, or thanks so much for supporting me in my coaching journey. Are you on a fitness journey too? Really easy. Are you on a fitness journey too? If you say, yes, I'm on a fitness journey, I'm going to ask more questions. Oh my gosh, tell me about it. What are you doing? What workouts are you doing? How's it working? How's your nutrition? I want to see and then oh my goodness, I just scrolled through your social media. You're so inspiring. I love everything you stand for. Like, you're exactly what I look for on my coaching team. Have you ever considered becoming a coach? Have you ever considered becoming a coach? Now, if they aren't on a fitness journey, because some people say, no, I'm not, but I want to be, then I'll say, oh, have you ever considered joining one of my fitness and nutrition groups? So I'll change it, and I'll actually invite to a challenge group instead of inviting to the coach opportunity, and then kind of insert the coach opportunity after we talk a little bit more about their fitness and nutrition. So have you ever considered? The other thing I'll do, try to post calls to actions at least 3 times a week on coaching. So calls to actions that are very clear that say, hey, like, comment below for more information, or I'm looking for 5 coaches for my team. And usually it's a story type post or something funny with just like 2 sentences at the bottom so that people know that they can contact me to get started. And then when people comment or message me, even if it's just 1 or 2 people, then I'll reach out to them. So I also try to post things so I can get people reaching out to me, so that I'm just going to give them information. So the next step of that is, once people say, yes, I'm interested, or what is it? Like, can you send me info? So I will say, if I sent you an audio on coaching, could you listen to it? Wait, if I send you an audio on coaching, would you be able to listen to it today or tomorrow, and schedule time to connect on Thursday or Friday? So the thing that I do very differently is I always get on the phone with people. I know Whitney does the same. And I think it's something that she talks about in Get Over Your Damn Self. And Eric Worre talks about it in Go Pro. And a lot of coaches will see the phone and shy away. I am not a phone person. I do not like talking on the phone. In fact, I hate talking on the phone. But when I was a new coach, I was working full-time in the financial industry. I was training for an Ironman another 20 hours a week. I was in a brand new relationship, now husband, and I just started this coaching business. I didn't have time to go back and forth, wait 3 days for someone to respond to me. And really, I found if I didn't give somebody a deadline, they wouldn't watch the video and they wouldn't make a decision. And so there was no deadline saying, oh, you're in this group, you have until this day. Like, people just let it go. And so what I did was, if I sent you this audio, could you watch it today and we can schedule a call for tomorrow? If I would you. So the audio that I send them, what I did was, in our Coach Online office, there's actually a PowerPoint presentation for the coach opportunity. I took that PowerPoint presentation, I wrote it out in my own words. I just made a Google Doc, and I typed copy pasted everything from the PowerPoint presentation. I took out the parts that didn't make sense to me. I left the parts that made sense to me. I added my story, and throughout the little bullet points that I was going to share on the audio, I would add in little pieces of stories from coaches on the team, or pieces of stories from customers. So I made it my own, but I used the information that was already in the coach office. I used freeconferencecalling.com to record the audio. The reason I did audio over video is because I didn't want them to get sucked into the YouTube scroll. I didn't want them to go watch a YouTube video and then end up on YouTube video after YouTube video after YouTube video. So that's why I sent an audio. The other reason is because I do have a couple videos that I'll send, but when I sent the videos, people would always say, like, oh, I watched the videos, but they didn't listen to the audio. And I want to make sure they listen to the audio because that has all the information. So that was the reason behind the audio, and it's worked. It's so many people have videos and they get distracted, but for some reason the audio gets them more focused. So I've always used the audio. So then I schedule a call. I get on the phone with them and I'm going to go through my entire interview process. I call it an interview because I really am interviewing people for my team. I will tell people on the phone, like, I don't think we're a good fit, or if you're really interested in coaching, you might want to contact another coach. It doesn't happen often because typically if they're not my tribe and they don't vibe with me, like, they're just probably not going to answer the phone, or they're, I don't know. But another thing I do is if I don't vibe with them, I'll say, oh, can I send you more information? And I don't schedule a follow-up. So that's my little trick to save myself time. If they're not someone that I want on my team, instead of saying like, you're not a good fit, I'll just say, can I send you information? And then I don't schedule a follow-up. I always schedule follow-ups though with people that I want on my team. Always schedule follow-ups. So I had a call today, and I have a goal that I have is to have about 20 to 25 calls a week. I know if I can schedule maybe 10 to 15 on some weeks, 20 to 25 on other weeks, but on average, if I can schedule about 50 calls a month, then I'm going to have 15 to 20 coaches say yes to me. I know that because I've done it. And I figured out my numbers, and I know how many people I have to get on the phone. And I have to invite a lot of people to get people on the phone, but it's going to save me time to get them on the phone instead of going back and forth to have them put off signing up. So once I get them on the phone, I say my number one question that I start with, first I say, hi, is this so-and-so? Is now a good time? So hi, Whitney, how are you? Like, is now a good time? She'd say, yeah, it's a great time. Or maybe it's not. Like, I've had people tell me they're in the ER, and I'm like, let's reschedule. I'll text you, So that always lets me know, like, is now a good time? We scheduled this, but is it still a good time? Then I'll say, thank you so much for listening to the audio. I really appreciate you doing your research. What do you like? Like, what interests you in coaching? What interests you in coaching? I want to know because in the audio, I explain that they can do this for a discount. So is it they want to earn income and help others? Is it they want to get more fit? Like, what is the reason they're interested in coaching? That's a really important question because they tell me which way I'm taking this call. They tell me if I'm going to talk more about client stories or am I going to talk more about coach success stories. They're giving me that leeway. So most people tell me, because I post a lot about coaching, I want to work on my fitness, but I really want to earn an income and inspire and help others. Awesome. So what is it that you do for work currently? What do you do for work currently? And sometimes people are stay-at-home mom. That's work. That's work. So what do you do for work currently? And I let them share that with me. And then I say, is this something, like, what do you like best? Thank you so much for listening to the audio after reviewing it. What do you like best about coaching? What stood out to you the most? Why do you think it'd be a good fit for what you're looking for? So I let them kind of sell me on coaching. Let them tell me why coaching is such a great opportunity. And then I'll go in and I'll ask, on a scale of 1 to 10, how interested are you in the coach opportunity? On a scale of 1 to 10, how interested are you in the coach opportunity? And the reason I ask this is because if they're a 7, I'm going to say, why are you a 7 as opposed to a 10? Why are you a 7 as opposed to a 10? They're going to give me their hesitations and their objections right then. They're going to tell them straight to me. 1, it gives me great content to post about on social media. I know their objections and hesitations, so I know what stories to share on social media. 2, they're telling me their objections. And when you're on the phone with someone, it's so much easier to answer them in a story. Like, I get a lot of objections of people saying, well, I don't post to social media and I don't like sharing my life to social media and I only have 200 friends on social media, so I don't know if I can be successful at this. And I'll share with them, I totally understand where you're coming from. That was me. When I started coaching, I had 200 friends on Facebook and I hadn't been on Facebook for 5 years. Like, I got Facebook when it first came out. I hadn't even been on Facebook. I wasn't using it. So I totally get where you're coming from. But I learned how to grow my network. It's not something we're born knowing, but I learned how to grow my network. And now between all of my social media accounts, I have over 60,000 followers, and I can teach you. I can teach you how to grow a network. It's just consistent action over time, like anything. When we're born, we don't know how to ride a bike. So I get where you're coming from. And then when it comes to posting to social media, it was so uncomfortable for me. So I get it. But I knew that I really wanted to have a bigger impact. I really wanted to help people. I really wanted to inspire them. And I didn't want to have to go around like business to business to try to find people to inspire. So social media allowed me to do that. And it was uncomfortable. I remember the first time I posted a transformation photo, I wanted to puke. Now I'll just post a picture of abs and I don't even care. Like, I have that confidence in me. That's what coaching has given me. So can you see how I can take their hesitation or objection, insert my story, and immediately make them feel at ease with all the objections and hesitations they have? So my next question, once I answer their hesitations or objections, is if you were to get started as a coach, when would you want to get started? And you would be surprised how many people say they're a 7 out of 10. You're thinking like they don't want to start. And then I say, when do you want to get started? And they're like, today. Like, cool, let's do it. Let's walk through the coach sign up. Now, if they're like, oh, well, I got to get money together next week, next Monday, or if they're like, I need, I'm really busy, I don't have time to do it right now, say, okay, does tomorrow or Friday work? So I'll throw out a couple days. I throw out days that are within 24 to 48 hours. Unless they have told me already that they can't do it in the next couple days, I throw out days that are 24 to 48 hours because they're more likely to go with what I throw out. If I throw out a week or 2 weeks, they're going to say a week or 2 weeks. If I give that deadline of 48 hours, unless there's a reason they need a week, they'll tell me, right? If they say they're a 7 out of 10, and I answer those hesitations and objections and they still seem really hesitant, instead of saying, when do you want to get started, I'll say, is it okay if I send you some more information on X topic, whatever they were worried about, and we can schedule a follow-up for Thursday or Friday, so that way you can review it and then we can go through any additional questions that you have. So I schedule that next appointment, right? And same thing, if I say a scale of 1 to 10 and they're a 10, I'm like, awesome, that was me, girl. I was ready to do this. Like, sign me up yesterday. I needed this like 5 years ago. I get where you're coming from. Like, do you have time to go through it right now, or did you want to schedule a time for tomorrow to get you started? And so I can walk people through the sign up right in that moment. There are times though, I don't want you to think this is a perfect system. People will tell me no. People say it's not for them. I got on a call with a girl today. I answered all her questions, sent her information, got on the phone today, and she's like, no, I don't want to do this. This isn't what I'm looking for. That's all right. Last month alone, I had 8 people that signed up as coaches who had spoken with me on the phone previously, who I don't remember because they didn't sign up as a coach, who are like ready to do this, emailed me, Facebook messaged me, said like, I'm ready to do this. Kristi, can we schedule a call for tomorrow? I'm ready to sign up. And I'm like, when did I talk to you? And I have to like go and Google and like search my calendar to find their name to know when I talked to them, like read through the notes because I don't remember. So those people come back, but they have a deeper connection with me because they're on the phone. I stand out over just being on social media. All right, I did it. I did it in 30 minutes.
Okay, that was impressive. And we were all like writing like mad people, so it was perfect. So you guys, like as Jeff Hill always says, go back and listen to it again and write down notes. But unmute yourself if you guys have questions for Kristi. This is your time to just fire away.
Someone had you go over the requirements. Challenge pack or Shaco purchase a monthly active status. Do I cover that? The what is coaching audio covers it. If they ask, so a lot of people will say, like, I heard the different packs and stuff, business fee and all that. Like, can you explain that more? If they ask, of course, I go into it. I'll explain the different packs and the ones that I recommend. Excuse me. And through the different costs, and I'll go through the lead programs even, because I just briefly mentioned lead programs. So yeah. When I first started here getting 0 likes, how did I start my list? Great questions, Natalie. Great question, Natalie. So what I did actually is I just went through all my Facebook friends, and I knew I needed to start growing my list quickly. So I added 30 new people to Facebook every single day. 30 new people to Facebook every single day. I found them in Facebook groups. I also went through my yearbooks. I took my freshman yearbook and I took my senior yearbook. So my freshman yearbook had freshmen, sophomore, juniors, and seniors. My senior yearbook had seniors, juniors, sophomores, and freshmen. So I got 8 classes in there, and I went to a small town. I went to a small school, lived in a very small town. So it doesn't matter. Like, those people matter. In fact, my town is, even though it's so small, the people are so supportive. There's a few that like to talk crap. That's okay. Like, it just makes me feel good that someone's talking about me. So, but I just went through and I would add them. I would go through each of the classes and add those people. I would go into Facebook groups and add those people. I would go to like pages of things that I like and find people on there. I even found, they don't do it anymore, but I found there were Facebook like pages where you could go and pay like $20 and they would shout you out. So I did that. Like, I would just search for anything I could do to get new people. But I would add 30 friends a day. Not everybody added me. I didn't even notice. Once they added me or accepted my friend request, each day I would go into my recently added people. So I could see all the new people that recently added me, and I would message them like, thanks so much for connecting with me. So excited to connect. Like, we're both boxer moms. I'm a boxer mom. I have boxers. I love my boxers. So for babies are a big thing for me. I don't have kids. So I would connect with them on that. And I would make sure to be posting about boxers in between those fitness posts, right? And that was how I could generate people to then go and invite. Back then, what I did, another thing that I would do is I would create an event on Facebook. Once a month, I'd create an event, and I would invite all those new people to the event. And then anybody that said yes or maybe, those were my invite lists. So if I was inviting them to the coaching opportunity, if I was inviting them to a challenge group, the ones that said yes or maybe, those created my list for the day. If I didn't have a list, like if I was like invited everybody on my list, I would literally, there were times that I would open up, and this is really probably not what people teach you because it's cold inviting, but I would open up my list on Facebook, A, B, C's, D's, and I would just go through and find 40 people who I'd want on my team, and I would message them and say, hey, I know this is super random and out of the blue. You've probably seen my crazy fitness posts, and I love what I'm doing, and I just know that I'm taking this to the top, and I want to find other go-getters, driven people who are passionate about fitness, who want to get healthy and fit, who want to inspire others, and you just seem like the perfect person for my team. Have you ever considered coaching? That was it. I'd go through, like, comment on their page, send them a message, and I'd do 40 at a time. And they were super cold invites. But I remember doing that one night because I had no one that had, my goal as a brand new coach, I was like, I got to sign up at least 3 people, right? My first month, I said I earned $70. And so when I did this, I remember a girl, so this is kind of funny, she responded back to me. And I just expected everyone to say no. She responded back to me and she's like, yeah, I've seen your post. I am interested. Can you send me info? And she literally signed up within an hour. And I was like, oh, that's amazing. That's so cool. She's been watching my posts. There's no likes on them. She's watching. So yeah. How many people, oh wait, here we go. How did I make that audio again? Freeconferencecalling.com. It's free. Obviously, freeconferencecalling.com. The one thing is you want to make sure that you log in at least like once a year, because this was actually really good that happened to me, but I had like 52 different What is Coaching call recordings because I used to do them live once a week for the team to invite to. But I realized at the beginning people were inviting to the audio live and then they stopped and were just using the recordings. So I stopped doing them. Well, this is like 4 years ago and I've been using the same recordings for 4 years. So bad. Hadn't done a new one, and Free Conference Calling wiped them because I hadn't logged in for 4 years, which is a good thing because I had to create new ones. So it was a good push. But so just make sure freeconferencecalling.com, because it is free, that you log in regularly or your thing will be wiped, or save it. You can save it to your computer so you do have that audio as well. All right, am I big on 3-way calls with other coaches? Yes, that's a great question. So my new coaches, yes. When I have a new coach, I will do 3-way calls with them. I will do 3-way calls with them until they are comfortable, and obviously not completely comfortable. They have to get outside their own comfort zone. But if they're bringing people to me, I would rather be doing the conversations until they have a little bit more experience under their belt doing the calls. Now, that being said, I did the calls all on my own. and had no idea what I was doing. I was like writing down, I was Googling interview questions to write down interview questions because I'm like, I just have to ask them questions because I don't want to talk because I don't know what I'm supposed to be saying here. So it was, I literally, like my first call I remember because she signed up, shocking, because I did a lot and most of them didn't sign up. But I was sitting in my room and I had a roommate at the time and I was sitting and I was kind of embarrassed. So I shut the door and I'm like on the ground in my room doing this call and the person answers and I'm sitting there going, don't answer, don't answer, don't answer, don't answer. And she picks up the phone. I was like, shit, hi. and my voice was super squeaky and I was shaking and my armpits were all sweaty. I was like dripping sweat. I was so nervous. And I asked her later, I said, why did you sign up with me, right? Like I had no success to speak of. What is it that I said? And she goes, well, I asked about Shakeology. And because at the time I didn't have audio, I was using Doug Fitzgerald's audio. So you don't have to have your own. For 3 years, my first 3 years, I used Doug Fitzgerald's. And his was a webinar. And she goes, well, I asked you about Shakeology and you told me that one, you had lost 5 pounds, which I had, by replacing a muffin and coffee that I had every morning for breakfast. And I had told her that because of the replacement increased. And so I loved that I was getting those nutrients, super simple, and my grocery bill had decreased. And she's like, I needed to get healthy, and why not reduce my grocery bill? And that's why she started. And she's still a coach to this day. The other 2 that signed up that month, they're not coaches anymore. they already quit. They quit like within a few months, but she stayed. So that's pretty exciting that it was just the story and such a simple story. It was a story of 3 weeks on Shakeology. It wasn't some crazy, insane story. A lot of you have little stories that you're not even telling because you think that it's not big enough. It's not grand enough, but it's those tiny little stories to people. People don't relate. Like they don't relate to 15-star diamond coach. They don't relate to Millions Club. They don't relate to Success Club 86, 7 months, right? They don't relate to stuff. They relate to, hey, I can reduce my bill and get healthy, right? Makes sense? Cool. How many people do I invite each week now? So the way I do it now is I want at least 150 people a week that I am either inviting or that are coming to me. So the way my inviting, can I post enough to get 150 people coming to me? So like last week? No, week before last, before summit, like I did a post on Facebook and not always does this happen, but 100 responses. That was 100 invites. I was like, that was way too easy for me to get in 100 invites. I'm gonna do another 100 because that was real simple. And I've always invited. Even if I have, a Facebook ad or something else going on, I've always invited because I always want to know what, just me personally, it's just my personal belief. Like I want to know what my coach is going through. I want to know, like, I'll tell them, hey guys, like everyone this week is not responding to me. And if they do answer the phone, they're not interested. Like that's the theme for the week. That's okay. I just know that I'm getting closer to those yeses. And then all of a sudden, 2 weeks go by and I'll get on the phone and 5 people in a row will all sign up. And I know that. So I can go and I can share that to the team. Like, I get it. I get no responses this week. I get that the theme of the week is no one's signing up, but we're doing the activities. We know we're doing what produces, and that'll come back. To take it back to when I first started, those are legit 100 to invite a week. About how many did I do? 100. I did 100. So I had 200 people on Facebook and I started adding 30 people a day. So if you add 30 people a day, obviously not all are going to accept my request, but 30 times 30, what is that? 900? Can I do math? Is that right, Whit? Right? That's 900 people. Sure, 900 people are going to accept my friend request, but I have 15 people a day. I can do that amount of inviting. Yes, expand like crazy. Yes.
Love it.
Yeah.
Kristi.
And kind of to go back to that, I went at it like, you can grow fast or you can grow slow. And the decision's yours. The business is yours. I'm not saying you have to go invite 100 people. I just knew that I had really big goals. So my actions needed to match my goals. So was I either going to change, was I going to decrease my goals? Was I going to change my goals to match the action, or am I going to change my action to match my goals? It's painful. I mean, that's the thing. Like, you go invite 100 people, you're going to have so many people responding back to you that you don't notice the people that don't respond. You don't notice the people that say yes and don't follow through because you're busy inviting more. Like, you don't have time. A lot of times, like, when people don't answer my calls that we schedule, I'm like, thank goodness, because I have some inviting to do and too many other people to get back to. Like, I don't have time for them. So thank you for giving me time and not answering the phone, or thank you for not responding to me, because I have too many other people that are. Jessica, I want, when I invite coaches, you'll probably want to re-listen because I went through a few different ways to invite earlier on. Oh, she said I was going in and out when I was talking about that. Okay, so so when I invite to coaching, it's really what I did with Whitney. I share with them why I'm reaching out to them, like why I think they'd make a great coach, what qualities they have that I look for in coaching, and then I say, have you ever considered becoming a coach? It's that simple. So with Whitney, it was like, oh, we talked about this. It's going to be the case for everyone, but with her, it was, we talked about this, and I know that you love fitness. I know that you're passionate about fitness and nutrition and working on yourself. Like, have you ever considered earning an income helping other people? Have you ever considered coaching? Have you ever considered becoming a coach? Have you ever considered doing what I do? Have you ever considered earning an income inspiring others? Have you ever considered earning an income by sharing your journey on social media? Like, so I just ask, have you ever considered? It's really, really basic. So when I reached out to people cold invites, it was, I know this is super random, but I've been stalking you and your energy is incredible. I love that you do X, Y, and Z. I love that this is what you stand for. Like, you're exactly what I'm looking for my team. I'm super picky with who joins my team because I want to make sure that they're positive, supportive, that they truly want to help and inspire others. Have you ever considered becoming a coach? Could you hear that, Whitney? Okay, awesome. Yeah, so it's real simple. Like, I don't overcomplicate it. Like, have you ever considered? But I post about coaching a lot, right? I post about coaching so that they're not, like, pretty much everyone who's a friend, unless they're already a coach on my social media, has been invited before. Like, maybe not within the last year, but they've been invited at some point when we became friends. Every single person on my social media has gotten an invite. Like I said, unless you're a coach already. And the reason is because they continue to follow me. So just like this week, I've had 3 people sign up as coaches. These are people that have been friends. I always go and check see friendship to see how long we've been friends. And like, one of the girls that signed up, this is a great story. She's one of those people I went to high school with. She was from my yearbook days. And she actually has asked me about every single rollout of every single program since 2013. And every time I answer her, I'm like, this might be the time. This might be her time. And you want to know what she responded with? I put her in an info group for Lift 4. It wasn't even coaching. It was an info group for Lift 4. And she responds, she goes, hey, Kristi, I'm in. Let's do this. I want the mega pack. I was like, what? What? You said you want the mega? You never even responded to me. Like, you asked for info, I send it, and then you ignore me. And then you ask for info again, and I send it, and I follow up, and you ignore me. And now you want the mega pack. All right, Kristi, do you want the coach opportunity for some discounts? She's like, yeah, we might as well do it. Let's go all in. I was like, all right. I was blown away. But see, I don't have an expectation of when their journey starts. Their journey starts when they're ready, not when I'm ready. And so if I'm growing my network, if I'm reaching out and inviting people, I'm going to find those people that want to start right now. I'm going to have those people that are going to start 3 or 4 years later. 5 years. So, all right. Is that good, Whit? Any more questions?
You are awesome. Thank you so much. And oh yeah.
One more thing. Go and invite. Don't worry so much about the wording and getting the wording right and having it be perfect. I don't worry about perfection. Like, I'm still not perfect. And perfection, if like you're a perfectionist, you're actually not really a perfectionist if you're not taking action, because the only way to perfect something is to put it out there and work on it to have it improve and get better. Like, that's the only way to perfect something. So if you are a perfectionist, that is not an excuse for why you aren't inviting, because you can't perfect anything without doing it. So just put yourself out there, because you can't say the wrong thing to the right person. My coach, all she said to me was, Beachbody gives us customers. I've been doing this for 2 years and I earn for $1,500 a month. That's it. I was like, $1,500 a month? If I go get a serving job doing, like, having a second boss, I'm going to be able to pay off some student loan. But after a year, I'm probably going to be stuck at $600 a month. So give me 2 years of being consistent, making $1,500 a month. Okay. Like, she did everything wrong. She didn't send me the coach sign up for 4 days. I emailed her like 4 times. Where's the coach sign up? I want to do this. Like, I should have known at that point. And oh, this is recorded. And chose a different coach. But you know, like, I just wanted to do this. I was ready. So all those times that you're holding back from going out there and just inviting, you're not so that when you find the next superstar diamond coach, they can say yes. Right? You know, that what's that saying? Like, when you, what is it? Success is when preparation meets opportunity. Is that right? It's something like you have to be prepared when those opportunities come your way, and you're not going to be prepared if you don't start practicing now.
Awesome.
Cool.
Good job. Thank you so much. I will post this recording to all the 5 to 8 star diamonds, and then they will share it with you guys, and then share it with your people. Spread it, spread it, spread it. So thank you guys for jumping on. Have an awesome night, and thanks again, Kristi.
Thanks, Whit.
Bye.